Now, before I start this video, let me ask you this question. Have you played every single Sonic game? No, not just the first 2D ones and the 3D ones. I mean them all. Well, no, probably not, and for good reason. But have you ever thought about doing that? Sitting down and collecting the list of every single Sonic game and just playing them all? If you said no, then I really do envy you, because that's what I'm doing, and that's what this hopeful series will be about. I have made a list of every single Sonic game from the original 1991 Sonic the Hedgehog to the latest and shiny brand new Sonic Frontiers. What better way of showing that than the beauty of tier lists? So please, enjoy this series where I, someone who has barely played a Sonic game ever, will play such classics like Sonic the Hedgehog CD, Sonic Unleashed, and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, and give my opinions on them. Also please like and subscribe, I have a fragile ego and need the boost. Now, let's start off by where this all began. Sonic the Hedgehog 1. For the Mega Drive. Released in 1991, it was a hit very early on. It was such a hit that it was the best-selling video game for several months in places like North America and the UK, outselling other titans like Mario. But what did the game have that helped it capture audiences so well? Well, it had a funky blue little hedgehog who did things like go fast. What more was there to love? A lot. There was a lot more to love. Sonic's level design is genuinely good for the time. I've played my fair amount of early 90s platforms, and the game is one of the few games I've played where it didn't feel unfair. Yes, you are sometimes going to get hit by something unexpected like spikes, or maybe you'll take a few hits trying to kill that enemy, but the game's ring system makes up for those moments, as if you are agile enough you can essentially have infinite lives. The game's levels were just good. There were puzzles that, while not difficult in concept, could still take a good moment to work your way through. There were alternative routes and different ways to explore littered throughout every single level that just wasn't commonly seen in that era of 2D platforms, or at least the ones I've played. The game also greatly rewarded multiple playthroughs with its speed. The more you know a level, the more you can take advantage of Sonic's speed, as you can clear so many parts of levels with skill and precision that just wasn't common at the time of those games. But if going fast wasn't your thing, going slow was still very viable, and sometimes required. You weren't locked into a preferred playstyle, but rather you had options that were all equally viable. And I loved that. When exploring a new level for the first time, I could make the conscious decision to risk it and go fast, or take it a bit more slowly and take in the scenery. And God, the scenery! The game is beautiful. If you ever get to play the game, put a CRT filter on your screen. It's just a whole new experience. Each level is incredibly distinct between the peaceful meadows of Green Hill Zone or the urban sprawl of Spring Yard Zone. And while each zone looks distinct and amazing, their soundtracks are equally as good. Scrap Brain Zone and Marble Zone are just really nice to listen to. Unlike many other games with catchy level soundtracks, I didn't find Sonic's music grating on my ears after being stuck on the level for 10 minutes. I didn't even feel tempted to just turn on Spotify or YouTube for a different soundtrack, it was just that good. I just wanted to sit there and enjoy the music, and sometimes I just did. My final positive is going to be about the story. Now, back in the old days, the story wasn't often given through gameplay, at least not solely. You got a lot of it from the manual, and then the gameplay mildly expanded upon it. And I'd argue it was the same for Sonic 1. But even without the manual, it's an easy story to follow. Some mustached cunt has evil robots, destroy the robots, and release animals, and then chase the cunt through many lands. It's a simple story, befitting the first entry of the series. I can't fault it. No, it's not competing with something like Metal Gear, but what can I say? I like it. But now, let's talk about the negatives. Fuck game overs. I did mention earlier that I didn't mind replaying the game from the start, but that was a lie. I just accepted my fate before I found quick saves. It's just an issue I have with most games of this era. You have X amount of lives, lose all lives, and you go all the way back to the start. Fucking torture. I would have at least preferred it if it just took you back to the first act of the stage you are on. I also found Sonic was torture to control at times. Want to jump on a slope? Nope! Jump at this weird annoying angle that just frustrates you. I also constantly found myself wanting to charge a spin dash or whatever, like I experienced it in later games, but I didn't realise it was in the first one. It's not something against Sonic the Hedgehog 1 necessarily, it's just I didn't like that, I found it annoying. But that makes up for the negatives. I genuinely don't have that many beyond minor nitpicks, like collision being wacky really. It was a mostly positive experience, as long as you look at it through the scope of it being a first of Sonic. And even looking at it from a modern perspective on games, it's really not that bad still. Now time for the moment that some of you nerds were looking for. Where does it go on the tier list? So to sum up, the game's graphics, music and setting are good, they hold up to modern standards, and I enjoyed my time with them. But I find Sonic annoying as fuck in this game to play, and I don't like restarting on lost lives. So B tier it goes. I have a feeling that as time goes on it will push to the top of B tier, but I'm content with the ranking it has right now. Now, for the first of many games that are only mildly related to Sonic. Sonic Erasor. Yeah, you have no idea what this game is, do you? Same. Turns out, it was Japanese exclusive for the owners of Sega game Toshokan on the Sega Mega Modem with a Sega MegaNet subscription. Still confused? Same. But essentially, it was a puzzle game where blocks fall down like Tetris, but not exactly. I don't really have much to say on this game. The visuals were okay. I think there were more modes, but they were all in Japanese, so I don't really know. Fortunately, there was a versus computer mode that I found, so you can actually see me playing the game. But the gameplay was enjoyable, I'd say. But the only relation to Sonic was that they sometimes punched each other when you made good plays, I think. I'm just going to get this segment out of the way. I don't have much to say, I don't have much gameplay to use, so let's finish this up. D tier. Fun-ish game, but next to no relation to Sonic. And now, for the final game of 1991. A true classic, something that everyone loves. You've all heard it, maybe played it. If you don't recognise this, you are not a true Sonic fan. Waku Waku Sonic Patrol Car. What's that? None of you recognise it? Yeah, I was taking the piss. This was a niche arcade game from 1991 that was exclusively released in Japan. I don't actually understand what's going on in the game because it's all in Japanese. Sonic's a policeman in a car, you drive a bit, and then you hit Eggman twice and it's over. If you were expecting anything else from the arcade game, lower your expectations. Arcade and quality are not two words I usually associate with each other. I will say, the visuals are cute, I like them, I actually vibe with them a lot. I think the gameplay was also okay. I genuinely think Sega could have made a full game out of this if they properly expanded upon it, and maybe ditched the Sonic in a car thing. I really can't say anything more. Like, I've stretched this segment as much as I can. One playthrough took me like 2 minutes, which half of it was unskippable dialogue. D tier, but above Sonic Erasor because it was actually more related to Sonic and I did enjoy my 2 minutes in the game. So this is the end of the first part of hopefully many more videos. I actually enjoyed researching for this video and playing the games. It's nice to be able to see every step of a series development. I recommend doing it yourself if you ever develop an interest in Sonic. I am actively looking for criticism for both my script and video editing, so if anything that you noticed that you thought could be better, please let me know. Thank you for watching.